Hey, it's Claude. Welcome back to the Makeso channel. We're here in sunny Singapore, and today I wanted to share with you about extreme HTV projects. And what do I mean by extreme HTV projects? I'm talking about the projects that you might do, you might even start doing, and you go, this is too difficult to weed, or this is too difficult to press, or I'm having so much problem, and you just drop the project altogether. I'm here to encourage you to keep going because it's these extreme projects that usually lead to a breakthrough that can even help us with our other regular projects that we do. And today, the extreme project I am going to share with you is our left chest logo that I do for a local bar. It's very small, but it's got a teeny weeny tiny line on it, if you could see. And I'm gonna go over with you today what I discovered working on this extreme project. So stay tuned if you're interested. All right, we're going to start zoomed in on the subject that I'm looking at. This is from one of our hoodies here. I got it in the autofocus lock, so that's why it's out of focus. But it's on a hoodie, and this is the left chest graphic here, and it's quite small. So this has become a extremely difficult graphic only because the size and this thin, extremely thin red line. That red line around there is less than a millimeter. I think it's about a half a millimeter line. And so in doing that, what I learned from this kind of extreme HTV is to use my cooling block on this, and this is what really taught me to use it. Now, if you looked at the cooling block and you looked at something like, okay, I'm not having an issue, if you're doing big letters and big graphics, yeah, you pretty much won't have an issue. But when you get down to the extreme layering of something like this with a less than half a millimeter pinstripe line, that leaves only a tad bit amount of glue to attach to your HTV to make your image stay down. So there's two major things that could go wrong in this image. The first one is the shrinkage of the big graphic behind it. So that's where I really saw that using a tack press to press it down, which means to press it for the least amount of time you can to just get the carrier sheet up, really came in handy, because if you add too much heat to this white background here in the back, it is going to shrink, and this red, very thin line is going to very noticeably not line up. So the tack press is what really takes care of that. And the second thing I noticed is that when I did that tack press, I needed to cool down the shirt at that point, because when I'm lining up the thin red line, you do not want it to touch anything that will activate that glue, because you only have a tiny bit of glue to work with. So you don't want that glue activating. So you want this surface, after you lay down the white, you want to use your cooling block and get it down to a cool level. Now, not cold, just underneath the activation point, which the activation point for this is 150 degrees Celsius, maybe 300 and something Fahrenheit. So you want to get it down below that activation point. You're not trying to stick it in the freezer and get it cold. You're just trying to get it below the 150 degrees Celsius point, so you don't activate that glue, especially on this really thin line. Once you do that, and you see it lines up, like this worked out and lined up pretty well, and then you get your red thin line down, that's when you want to cool everything together with your cooling block as it seeps into the next layer. So I really want to just share this graphic with you that I worked on. I love this graphic now because I know what to work with, but sometimes it's when we do the extreme projects that we think, okay, this is ridiculous. That's when we learn the most, because then when I did it for such a thin graphic, I noticed it made a difference in my bigger graphics as well. Not as noticeable, but noticeable enough. And I really noticed it on this very thin graphic. So this was a quick kind of video. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of information, please hit the like button and subscribe to us and interact with us. Tell us what you think in the comments and let's get a conversation going. It's great to always talk to you guys, and it's good to see you in this video. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next one.